Mike, check 1 2. Oh. Chris, I can't hear you. Shahid, you there?
Let me unmute.
There we go.
I had the football game on. You know, I'm a Eagles fan. Well, it's still gonna be on. So fly Eagles, fly, baby.
That's what's up. I never got
We
into
out here
professional
winning
sports.
7-0. Things they running the ball down our throat right now.
Okay. I never really cared about sports.
But you said you could shoot a basketball though.
I can play.
So
I don't
make
watch
it
it.
make sense. How,
I
how
can
can
play.
how can you shoot if you don't care?
Because you didn't hear what I said, or
Okay.
maybe you didn't listen to what I said. I said I don't really care about professional sports.
Okay.
That was verbatim, word for word.
Okay. I can get with that. I can get with that.
What up, Shahid?
What's going on? What's the deal, y'all?
Another night. Another night. Another chance to be here on this joyous moment.
You all right?
I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I am. I'm worn out. I feel like going to sleep.
Mm,
I might
I've
be in
been
and
there
out of the show.
Man, listen, y'all after action that last week, I was like, man, I'm gone. I couldn't take it.
Yeah, it's been
Got another.
a physically and mentally taxing week for me.
You wanna share?
Nah, just
Pull a
so
West on you. It's perfectly fine for you to open your heart. Nah, true story. If you need to get something off, we'll listen. She
okay.
don't even know she on camera. Look at her big head.
Hey. Uh oh. This ain't a good connection.
You on your
Can y'all
phone?
hear me?
Yes.
No?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. Hi.
Good evening. Hey, Evelyn.
Hey.
Good evening, everybody. Hey, VA Chick and Evelyn. Good evening. Welcome, ladies, to Thursday's edition of Ask a Black Man Anything. And to our audience, thank you so much for joining us again, for being our faithful listeners. Make sure you share it with your friends because they miss us too. So, with that being said, hopefully you fellas are all good. But Evelyn, I hope you came back with an update.
An update on what? The
Evelyn, you
previous
have
question?
yes, ma'am. You had homework.
Okay.
No update, Evelyn.
Nothing new. Mm-mm.
Okay, so if you all haven't seen our previous episodes, Evelyn came in and she asked us a question. We missed them right over here. And she asked us a question. How does she, say what she needs to say to her man in a better way? Is that about sum it up, Evelyn?
Mm, if you're potentially dating, yeah.
Okay, give us a quick recap, and then I'll go into our question that you were supposed to ask.
Okay,
Yo.
the first question, let's see. When you going on a date and you get like in the friend zone.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't been going on any dates lately. I just been keeping it low key.
Why you haven't been going on dates?
I don't know. I just been keeping it low key. I just
You
been
know,
keeping it to myself.
are you tired of dating?
I'm not tired of dating. I'm just life.
Tired of bullshit.
Just life.
Wait, who? That was a VA chick that said BS.
I ain't say nothing.
Mhm.
Who said BS?
It was me. She probably tired of the BS. That's probably why she laying low.
So
It's
what is BS?
Bro, we live in Atlanta. What do you mean? It's so
yeah,
much BS
a
I
in
lot.
have an
Atlanta.
amazing dating life, so I don't understand what you all do. So fill me in. Tell me what is BS.
We try to put up with y'all. That's what we do. And sometimes that's very hard. It's strenuous. Um, y'all always be wanting nudes on the first date. I mean, there's a whole bunch of crazy stuff. The list goes on and on and on. I don't know if we got that much time tonight.
I mean, we're here, so tell us. What do you put up with? He's a priceless, priceless.
Man. What does that mean?
I
Y'all
mean,
got to
it's
put up. What don't we have to put up with y'all?
the question wasn't asked to y'all; it was asked to her. So since
I'm
she's
asking,
one of two females up here, I was just chiming in that she's probably taking a
You're doing
break
a great
because
job. You're
she's
doing a great job.
I'm asking you though.
Evelyn. I'll let you answer. I haven't been dating for a while because I've been taken. So,
Okay.
You
but the
still
Yeah.
BS
taking?
before.
You still taking?
That's interesting.
I don't understand what that means.
That's for another episode.
I don't
Let me
think
just say
female.
I'm working through that.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't think.
dealing with an emotional man. Let me not say that. Let me correct myself. I'm dealing with a man that is more emotional than what I'm used to. Let me say that because I do want men, especially black men, to be able to express their feelings
That's
because
what y'all say.
that is a complaint.
And then the
So
moment they get it, this is what they
he's
get.
a byproduct of the modern woman, is what you're saying.
Say I didn't hear it. I didn't hear the first part.
That he's a byproduct of the modern woman is what I'm hearing.
I don't know if I can answer that.
You want a man to be more expressive and more emotional, and then when you get one, it's a problem.
I didn't say it was a problem. I just said he's more emotional than what I'm used to.
Yeah, but you
I'm
said it.
used to.
You
I said
said
it in
that
what way?
in a manner in which it's an issue with him and not you.
Right.
I thought I used I statements.
No,
I said
no.
I. I said
But
I. I
we
said
can.
he's a little bit more emotional than what I'm used to. So I'm
He.
saying,
I heard he.
well,
You led with.
he is a man. So I mean, I'm not dating a woman. So
Well, no, but you're
I gotta
leading. You're
use he.
leading with him. Listen to me,
You
Evelyn. This is what I'm just saying.
literally said, "I'm not used to dealing with X, Y, and Z," but you said he.
Yeah, the identifier in the statement, and we're all college educated. The identifier in the statement is he. He.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the subject. When the subject's not you. Now, if the subject is you, it'd be, I'm not used to such, and then the guy that I'm dealing with happens to be more of that. It'd be different. But you didn't word the sentence that way. You said he.
It's semantics. We said the same thing, just two different ways.
Not the men.
It's not different.
It's called.
It's
Oh,
not the same.
Okay.
oh!
It's
I
not the
smell
same.
smoke.
It's
It's
called
not the same.
accountability.
I'm a wordsmith. It's not. It's absolutely different. And so that's all
We
I'm
agree to
saying. So
disagree.
and then when you said that, you know what, then you qualify. You say, I do, but as women, we do want men to be a little bit more emotional and express themselves. Is what I think you said. We want men to express themselves more. Okay, so is that what he's doing?
Yeah.
So he's doing what you want, but you're working through that. Okay.
I thought that's what I was saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you wasn't.
I just said a little.
Like this?
What I said was
Watch
a
the
little
replay.
bit more than what I'm used to.
So what are you
So-
doing? What are you doing on your end of it?
To deal with
We're
with
talking-
your problems.
Oh, I don't have no problems. I don't have no problems.
Oh,
I don't have no problems.
You
And
don't think
neither
it's-
does he. No one has a problem in this scenario. And
You don't think it's
that's
a-
the
you don't-
problem. Y'all think I'm saying that there's a problem. There is not a problem at all.
Well, why is this your relationship then?
and you're working through it. That doesn't sound too positive.
Because
I thought
no
you only work through
relationship is
problems also.
perfect. No
Yeah, but
relationship is perfect.
majority
So
of
right now we working through some things.
majority of relationships aren't like this though.
Not the good one.
We know
What does
this.
that mean to you?
Everybody
You
knows
tell me
this.
what that means to you. What
Iffy.
does that mean to you?
Iffy.
Universally,
That
this
means iffy.
it's
That
a
means
Not
it's on the
taken.
fence. It's on the
It can
fence.
I'm
It can go
50-50.
this way or it
Yeah,
can
it
go
can go
this way. That's
You're right.
literally what that hand gesture means. It can go this way, left, or it can go this way, right.
You're right. There's only two directions, left, right. So
majority.
we trying to figure out which way we need to go. So again, no relationship is perfect. So we're working through some issues. I never said it had anything to do with his emotions and how emotional he is or the level of emotional that he is. You asked me about my relationship and I said like this.
You literally said that,
That's what I just said.
but you said you didn't say that.
What did I say?
You literally said we're working through some things. I'm dealing with a man that is more emotional than I'm used to.
Don't
Right?
forget the inflections and tone. That's
Yeah,
important,
like
Shahid.
the violence. You said that's a topic for a whole different episode,
I did.
which means that it's a lot more than just this. And what we're trying to tell you is most.
No, I wouldn't agree with you there. When I say this, and that's something for another episode, I just met y'all. Y'all just met me. I'm not gonna pour out all my whole relationship to y'all. I mean,
You didn't just meet me.
I'm going through some things, just like most relatips do. No relationship is perfect. If every relationship was perfect, everybody would be married and happy, and they're not.
Okay.
It's not true.
We'll land it there,
tomato.
Shahid. She conceded to saying we're going through some things.
That's what I said.
Okay. Go ahead, Chris.
So, Evelyn, as I was saying, what issues are you having in dating that's causing you to take a break?
It's just, I'm just taking a pause.
What does that mean?
Like, I'm just staying focusing on me. Put it like that. Focusing on me.
I hear that a
honest,
lot.
Evelyn.
I'm focusing on me.
Because you can focus on you and date too. So be honest. Tell these men why you taking a pause.
Because it seemed like, I don't know, because I'm running to the same type of men.
That's possible.
Come on, that's where we're going here. That's where we're going. And we're still some type of men.
That's a great
And
start.
and it's a different platform because sometimes, I work, but I'm kind of like not a homebody, but I am active. I do go different places, so I do go do online dating, and it's like you're meeting the same people. So it's like I said, let me take a pause. Let me just reevaluate myself. Let me sit back.
Ask you a question, Evelyn, because I think that's a great place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of all of the men that you meet, you say they're similar, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we were to put this in terms of a fraction, and you had 15, 15, 15, 15, and at the bottom of each 15 was 3. There's a common denominator or let's say all the numbers were different, right? Because some men are tall, some men are short. There's a common denominator in every number, and it's not the men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that speaks to her point, though, Chris. That's why I'm agreeing with her. She's saying,
right, which is where I'm leading, right?
I'm trying to say it's all on the guys. I'm just saying that it's especially like you said, like my little lovely lady friend over here in Atlanta is so different. I'm telling you, it's these guys in Atlanta. I don't know what it is. It's like they're bringing the program differently, and I'm not used to that. It's so different. And then they're superficial, one, and they want somebody to take care of them, two, and they feel like they're entitled to certain things because they want a female to look a certain way, but then y'all don't look like nothing. You know what I'm saying? You want this 10, but you a 2. You know what I'm saying? But it's so different. It's like, for instance,
it always comes out. It's not about working on herself.
Get you a shot of hand.
It's just a lot.
No, I mean, no, please, by all means, I want you to feel comfortable with expressing yourself because I want to know because I don't have that experience.
See,
And I live in Atlanta. I have an
okay.
amazing dating life. Like
Oh, that's
amazing.
wonderful. That's great for you. It's awesome for you. That's awesome. But for me, I'm telling you, it's so different. I'm telling you, it's different. It's just different. It's very different. Cause you
Okay.
know it's 30 men, 30 women to one man up here, and you know that. You know that. You
So
know that.
that's why you're in heaven and your dating life is great, Chris.
Yes,
That's not
You
true.
got all the options.
you have a
That's not
lot
true.
of.
That's not true. Let me explain to you why my dating life is great.
Okay.
We're
Because
listening.
I'll never say because I have options, my dating life is great. My dating
Okay.
life is great because I every day make a choice of what it is that I desire. I've also
Hmm.
become the type of man that the type of woman that I would want. And so therefore my dating life is great. So I attract the type of woman that I desire because I'm the type of man that she would want. My mentor told me that key phrase, mentor.
Hmm.
I'm submitted to an authority, right? That tells me what to do and how to move, but I'm also a man in authority. So those are two things, right? Two key points that make my dating life better. Not only that, I'm actually walking in purpose. So that's aside from the women, I'm walking in my purpose. Every day, my goal is to create life or create something else, right? So that's something else that I'm doing. So not only do I work, I'm creating purpose, but I'm able to attract what it is that I'm looking for because that's the energy that I put out because I've become that, right? That's why my dating life is great. Now, mind you, I said nothing about the woman.
Mm-mm, not a
Nothing.
single.
It
I
is
was waiting
all
for you to
about
do that,
me
but I didn't hear
taking
anything.
responsibility for where I am and what I put out. My dating profile. If you look at my dating profile, it talks about what is it that you get to learn about me, the person. I don't talk about, oh, I don't want to have sex on the first date. I don't talk about, I don't want a gold digger. I don't talk about, I don't want this. I don't want that. I don't say those things. On my dating profile says, if you want to learn about me, here are the things that you need to be able to talk about. You need to be able to talk about attachment styles, right? That's a dialogue. That's a conversation starter. If you want to learn about me in my dating life, you need to be able to have conversation beyond back to back questions. I have a standard of dating. And I'm not talking about preferences because some people conflate standards with preferences, right? Like some people believe that, if I'm a woman that's 5'7", I gotta have a man that's 6'5", right? Like some people believe that, in reference to their preference, right? That's their preferences, they're not their standard. So my standard are character traits, not attributes. That's another difference. For me, I only want a woman that's fit. Fit is a mindset, not just a body type. I want a woman that's feminine, that's friendly, that's kind, that's patient, that's loving, that's giving, that expresses the five love languages continually because that's what I do, right?
You
So
can put all
that's
that
why
on your dating profile.
say what?
You put
You
all
can
that
put
on your
all
day.
that on your dating profile.
If you look at my Hinge profile, it's a lot of that on my dating profile. On my Bumble
I
profile, it's a lot of that. A lot of it.
I
I'm
know you
giving
have that
you,
much space.
I'm giving you highlights, right? Not, but I also have dating prompts, right? I also, so all of the things that I put out, the energy that I put out in the world and onto the apps, because the same people that are on the apps are the same people that are in the cosmos, right? Are the same people in the world, same people in Atlanta. They just are on the app, right? So it doesn't matter what app I go to, how I present myself is what I'm able to receive back. That's why my dating life is fantastic. And not because I have options, because I'm able to narrow down my options and select the things that I desire. So, hope that helps.
I mean, that works for some people because
Here
I'm the
comes the
total
divorce.
opposite. I'm the total opposite when I was in the dating world and on dating apps. I put those very things that you said that you do not put on your profile. And I had no problem getting dates. I had no problem meeting men. I mean, I don't have a problem meeting men, period, because I'm one of those women where I approach men. I don't have a problem going up to a guy saying, "Hey, how you doing? My name is Shanta. You look nice," or I can send a drink from across the room. I don't have those issues. I get what you say as far as putting things out there in the universe, but at the same time, um, and this might be harsh to say, but I handle men like people handle um conveyor belt. You reel them in and weed them out. Like we need to, time is of the essence. So what I have on my profile are the things that I don't want, and the things that I do want. But these dating profiles have limited space. So, I might use emojis to know, so people will know what I don't want and what I do want. But again, that hasn't stopped me from having, as you say, a great dating life when I was out there dating. But the dating pool in Atlanta is not the best either. I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for nobody
Well, I'm
else.
not a woman, so I don't know. But I'm a male in the dating pool, and so whatever. I I don't agree with that because and that's fine that you think
Yeah,
that
I
the
mean,
dating
your
pool is
experience
what
is
it
your
is.
experience. I mean, most of my relationships have come from dating apps. So I tell people to go to dating apps. They are a great tool to weed out people to where you're not wasting your time or wasting your makeup. So I say do it.
So
Okay,
why do you say that men are conveyor belts?
I was about to ask. Can
That's
I ask you a
that's how
personal
I handle
question?
them.
Can,
Right.
I date multiple people. Go ahead. Go ahead,
how
Rich.
many relationships have you had in the past 10 years?
I'd have to go and count,
Oh wow.
but um, what is this? 2022.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and count. Let's see. One, two, three, four, five.
So basically, like one every 2 years, or like
I mean, if you want to average it, yes, but I haven't been with some of those people that
right.
long. Some of those relationships were short. Like one was 6 months, 7 months, because the dude was cheating on me and had some bitch stalking me. So that had to end. So that wasn't me. I was doing what I was supposed to be doing.
So do you find like the conveyor belt strategy successful?
Yes.
What do you define as success?
Each his own, I guess.
No, I'm asking
Exactly.
her.
To each
Like,
his own. I mean, I don't have time. Like, there's things that I want. I've been married before. So there's things that I want, things that I don't want, things that I'm not going to put up with, non negotiables, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. So I need to get those things out of the way early. I don't want to waste his time and I don't want my time wasted. And like I said, I don't want to waste my makeup because makeup is not cheap. So if I'm going out on a date with someone, I'm going to present myself. I'm going to look nice. If we talking on the phone and things ain't meshing on the phone, then there's no reason for us to meet in person. I feel like in this dating app world, guys are so quick to let me take you out. I want to see you when they don't spend enough time trying to get to know you. I don't mind video chatting so you can verify me as me, you as you. But let's talk over the phone a little bit before we rush out to go spend your money. And then we get called, oh, these heifers only want to go out to eat. Well, you rushing me to go out to eat, so I'm gonna go out to eat. So yeah, I reeled them in. I reeled them in with my conversation, my looks, my personality, and then when we talk through some things and I realize that they're not for me, throw them back. But I don't date one person at a time either. So there's that too.
Okay, so I'm just this is interesting. I'm just curious. Like, what is something you think you have to work on to like? What is some self improvement stuff?
Be a little bit more feminine. That's what I got from the last two relationships.
But is this something
But
that
they were
you actually observe yourself, or does somebody have to tell you this?
Oh, I already know it's for me. I when I first before I married my husband, I was a straight tomboy, so I knew that I had to bring some of those feminine qualities out. I know I have them. It's just I didn't think I was pretty when I was younger. I had low self esteem, so that played a part into it. But once I built up my self esteem, went and got a boob job, sis is good now.
so can I ask a question? Is your self esteem built from the boob job, or is it
It was
from?
before because back before, because back then, before you were getting boob jobs, you had to go through therapy to make sure that you were mentally sane, that you weren't doing this for low self-esteem reasons and things of that nature. So I was going through therapy and got myself together before that. And I did it when I was married, so I really didn't need it, but that's what I wanted. My ex-husband didn't want me to get it. He went to Iraq. I was flat as the table, and when he came back, I had boobs.
Hmm.
So yeah.
This is interesting. I mean, this is interesting.
Shannon, you looking real confused over there.
Oh no, I'm never confused. That's
I'm really waiting.
that's the one emotion that everybody knows. That's the one emotion I don't have. It's not confusion.
Gotcha.
Oh man.
Evelyn, it was interesting when you were mentioning that you said you stepping back and you're working on yourself, and then you said because you running into a lot of the same guys, and I was under the impression, oh okay, because we are what we attract, and that when you said that, I was thinking, okay, all right, right on, Evelyn, because you know that there's some things in yourself that you're saying, well, why am I attracting these type dudes? I need to attract some different type dudes until you switched on me. You
Okay, how did
switched.
I switch?
You switched on me, Evelyn. I was getting ready to root for you. I was about to pick up my pom poms, and then you switched and you said, "But all these men in Atlanta, and they
For
all
real?
this and this that, and and this is what the men are doing, and this is what happens, and every time you meet them, I didn't hear anything about why you stepping back and working on yourself when everybody else is the problem.
I'm not saying everyone's the problem. I'm just
That's
saying
what you
I am
said.
stepping back. No,
You
I
step.
am stepping back because I just feel like
Hmm.
at this point in my life, I don't have time. Time, you can't get time back. Okay. And when you meet someone, it's like you're wasting time. If you're not on the same, you're not doing this, trying to go the same path and trying to meet someone and go to the next level. Because sometimes they say they want one thing and something totally different when you actually meet them. And oh, I said, okay, I thought you wanted this. And when you start doing certain things, oh, you're moving too fast. Okay, I'm moving too fast. All right.
Okay. So it's not so much that you stepping back working on yourself. You just stepping back away. But how much time are you think that you're saving by not being out there like you were? Because the
I'm
clock
not.
don't the clock don't
What's it?
stop. You
Yeah,
still
the
you
clock doesn't
still
stop at all.
hmm?
Yeah, the clock doesn't stop at all.
Yeah, yeah. There's no pause button on time. So how much time do you believe that you're saving?
Mm. Enough time for me to know to realize the bull BS. To realize when it's BS, and it
It'll
could have
still
been
be there.
avoided.
It'll still be there. You just have to sort through it. And
Yeah,
and
you're right.
and in my estimation, here's what I think is probably happening. You're
Mm-hmm.
probably not gathering a large amount of
Sample size.
data or a
This
lot
is
of
where
you don't have a large sample size,
this is where
right? So
VA chick makes more sense when she says she just kind of throws them on a conveyor belt. She's
Mm-hmm.
able to
so
at least. I mean, I have an issue with that, but at least she's gathering information.
Uh-huh.
She's gathering data. She's gathering information, data, and she's able to process more bullshit because she could see and deal with more bullshit to know what she doesn't want. When you step back and you stop the entire conveyor belt and the clock don't stop, but the machine does. You think that you're able to gather more, to learn more, but you're not because you don't even have enough things coming through the system, enough men coming through your phone.
But,
You're right.
but who wants to deal with BS day in and day out? Nobody wants to do that. So I can see why she's trying to take a break.
Yeah, life
So
sucks.
it does sometimes. And I mean, she needs a mental break for herself. Sometimes dating can be stressful. It shouldn't be, but sometimes it is, depending on who you attract, who you run into, and her taking a mental break may not be something specific that, like you were asking for, as far as what she's trying to work on for herself. It could just be simply her mental. You need a break from bullshit sometimes.
I don't think you have to stop dating and take a mental break.
Yeah.
It, yeah. Why not?
No.
Mm-hmm.
That's
No.
where the
Because
bullshit is coming from.
no,
So
it's
in
not.
therapy, they teach you
No,
if
but it's
there's an
not.
issue,
But it's not.
remove
That's
the
not where
issue.
it's
The
coming from.
issue is
It's coming from the guys that
Right.
she's running into. The
And
bullshit is
she
Mm-hmm.
coming
has
from
she has to vet
from the
better.
yeah. The bullshit isn't coming from dating. The bullshit is coming from the guys that she's selecting while dating.
That are
So if she's gonna step
exactly,
back.
they're part of the dating.
So, but listen, but who's vetting them? She is. Who's the filter? She is. So if she's filtering in bullshit and filtering out the good shit, pausing, all it does is just makes that wait until she starts it back up and more bullshit starts coming in. A mental
But you know
break
what?
is just a rest. It has nothing to do
I can say this too. On my end, I just not saying you tolerate. You just say, okay, maybe it's different. When you talk to next, okay, maybe it's different. So you allow so much at a time. So, okay, maybe I can look over this, or maybe, and you don't want to do that, but you like, okay, maybe, okay, let me see. He may be all right.
Mm-mm. That's that.
Maybe
You
all
know
right.
what that's like. That's synonymous to, or no, I'm sorry. That's tantamount to what Einstein said. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. If you just take
Mm-hmm.
a break and say, okay, well, I'm gonna just wait.
Mm-hmm.
All right, aspire back up again and think everything's gonna change. That's not gonna happen. That's why Chris was giving you the example of what he does, which makes his outcomes different.
Okay.
So the pause is unnecessary, in my opinion. Is unnecessary. The pause on dating is unnecessary if you're not doing anything to yourself to make things change the next time you go back out there. And that's where I
Uh-huh.
thought you were going originally. I thought you were like, "Yo, I'm taking a break, get myself together because I need to do something for me. I need to do something. It's not the men, it's just the men that I keep selecting. So I need to do something. So the next time I go out there, them guys, I got blinders on to them fuck boys. I ain't paying attention to these niggas. I'm only paying attention to guys that are worthy and what I want because I'm attracting who I am myself. I'm
Uh-huh.
attracting the kind and caliber of man that I've become, which is what exactly I think damn near verbatim what Chris said. But if it's just pause, I want to get away from them. Ooh, let me take a break and just chill. I'm gonna just chill. All right.
Sometimes that is needed too.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
come back. He gonna still, he gonna still
But
select the same guys you were
yeah,
selecting.
the
Go ahead, Shahid.
pauses, the pauses, it creates this false reality. The pause is really just a reset button. So if you
Mm-hmm.
deal with seven guys and then you pause, you've created this false reality in your head that when you step back into it, it's
It's gonna be
something is,
different.
yeah,
She
it's like,
literally
no,
said that. That's in fact that's exactly what she said, Shahid. She thought, when I come back, it'll be different.
no, like all you're doing is giving yourself some rest to get so you could go through that same exact thing. You just re-energize. You just recharging. That's it.
And
You're
nothing changes because you haven't learned anything. Like
you're just
you, and
recharging.
I'm not attacking. I'm just so the reason why for me, right? I'll put it on me. The reason why I've been getting better is because I've been learning. Okay, you know what, Chris? You didn't do this right. This is why this didn't do. Look, this is why this didn't work. This is why this one didn't work. And I was evaluating myself, not the other people. I stopped
Mm-hmm.
blaming other people and I started evaluating me. What am I not doing right? What am I not doing? What am I doing wrong? What I'm not doing enough of, what I need to slow down on. Those are the things that led me to the place that I'm in now to be in a successful dating situation, right? Where I'm an amazing person and it's going
Well,
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 right?
Chris. Well, what would happen if you thought that everything that you was doing was perfect? What if you thought you weren't wrong, and you were the only thing right in a wrong world? What would happen if that was the case?
I mean, I would get the results of that, right? If I always think that I'm right, then there's nothing that I need to change. And I was actually having this exact same conversation with somebody today. You're afraid of change. And I'm like, okay, I can't help you because you don't want to change. You think everything you do. No, I do want to change. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're lying to yourself. So most people lie to themselves and think that they don't need to change anything, right? The reason why some people keep going through the same, and it was so funny, Shahid and I literally had this conversation, what, 2 maybe 3 weeks ago, about being on a cycle, a man being on a cycle and not getting off the cycle, right? The only way that you get off the cycle is either you analyze yourself, or somebody points it out and says, okay, you know what, this is keep happening. If you keep dating this type of man and you keep going in circle and circle and circle, you're not learning anything. So you got to look back and say, you know, what am I doing wrong, or what's not working?
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, I'm not in attack mode, so I don't want you to think that.
I understand. That's why you have to, like, I do have to sit back and reevaluate myself. Like, what is different? What I need to change? What I need to tweak? I'm not denying it at all because nobody's perfect.
Got it, boo. I didn't hear that. What I heard was all these niggas in Atlanta.
Um, Maybe it came out wrong,
No,
but
it
I'm
didn't
just
come out wrong. It came out how you felt.
It
All these
didn't.
niggas in
It
Atlanta.
didn't,
That's
sis.
all I heard was all these
telling
niggas in
you, these
Atlanta.
dudes in Atlanta, they kind of go through. I'm trying to tell you.
I mean,
They
I
kind
gotta
of
go out of
what?
state to get mine, so I get it.
They kind of.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, because this may help me. What kind of guy are you looking for? And I want you to tell me the attributes of the man, and not, I'm sorry, the character of the man and not the attributes. Attributes are like 6'2", makes this amount of money, lives in this area. Those are attributes. And tell me the character of the man that you're looking for. Kind, patient, like that.
Yeah, that's why I want him to be loyal. Know how to communicate, caring. Know how to take care of his business with me or without me, and I shouldn't be an asset or no liability or anything like that. Um, Understanding, loving, um, love his family, praying, just all that good stuff.
Are
I'm
those
not.
But
things
when do you
in your
actually see
profile?
those things? We don't
Huh?
Are
see
those
those
things in
things
your
from day
profile?
one. We see.
Oh, we don't. That's what I'm saying. That's how you get to know that person. You get to peel those layers back to see, okay, is that person that person? Because sometimes they put on a facade like they have all this, and then when you get in the door, when you get into it, like it's something totally different. Oh my God, it's totally different. Because I'm not a
So
big physical person. I mean, I don't really go by looks.
I do.
I really don't.
So typically relationships mirror ourselves. So it's possible that this may be similar to something that you're actually reflecting.
Hmm.
So if people are changing once you get into it, it's actually a the way that I've learned, and this is what I've learned. The way that I
Hmm.
learned is whatever happens to me is something that I am putting out and I'm reflecting out in the world, and so I need to evaluate where am I hide what am I hiding. So let me ask you this question: do you have a full body picture on your profile?
Hmm.
Um, do you have like what is it that you hide on your profile or in your personal life that comes out later on, right? Because I mean, it's something that has to do inward, right, before it
Hmm.
becomes outward.
Nothing. I put it on the table. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. So
But
you
Mhm.
okay?
I'm
Go
not.
outside, sit down, necklet, and have.
I've never really been like a dating person type of. I mean, an online dating person, right? So is that like an alternative, or is that just another like outlet to like? I never understood that. Like sometimes when I hear people talk about online dating, it sounds like that's where it is right there, as if they close out
It's
every other
easy.
part of dating.
It's easy because you can wing out who you want to talk to, who you don't want to talk to, or what you like and what you don't like. So that's easy. But I prefer to meet somebody the old fashioned way, going to the grocery store or going pumping gas or something like that.
But she doesn't go out because she's a
I,
homebody.
That ain't the old fashioned
and
way.
and
Just
I will say
saying.
a lot of issues with women in the old fashioned way is we're still stuck in that old fashioned mindset. If we see a
Mhm.
guy that's interesting, we waiting for him to come talk to us versus us going to talk to him.
Mhm.
So we, kind of go to the online dating thing where we can see all of the men that we like. We can send a little cute little message, little heart, little lips, little heels, or something like that to get their attention.
Do you do that in real life?
and
And that
and they want the exact same thing. They want the man to initiate and the lead and stuff like that. And I'm just like, we're both in the experience. Like, you
Mhm.
can speak. It's
Well,
okay.
it's
Yeah.
interesting because she mentioned that online, drop a little heart, basically, the proverbial way of dropping her handkerchief, making herself, uh, putting herself in a position that she could be seen online. But
No,
Mhm.
she said
then,
she does it in person.
huh?
She says she does it in person too.
Because I heard her say guys want it the old fashioned way of men pursuing women. But I'm wondering, did she drop her handkerchief in real life too?
No, she said she does.
I
Yeah.
do.
So
Yeah, I do.
Shanta said earlier that she'll send a drink or she'll go up and speak, but she's too. I guess she's too masculine. If they're telling you that you're too feminine, that you're not feminine enough.
She did not say that.
No, no, no. The
No, I'm
relationship
asking.
piece.
I'm asking.
Oh,
No. Shannon asked me what was something that I feel like I need to work on. And I said being more feminine. I am feminine, but I would say it's 60-40 on the masculine side. So I have my feminine ways, but I'm a Scorpio too. So that sensual sexual piece about me when I approach men, sometimes I might be like, okay, he might be a little bit out of my league. Let me do something like a little icebreaker and see if he laugh at that. And if so, then I'll kind of come in with the grown up Shanta, so to speak. I might say a cute little pickup line or even a sexual pickup line to see if he catch the bait, and then we'll go from there. I might simply just be like, "Hey, are you here with someone? I saw you from across the room." So I mean, I don't have a problem picking up men, but I was just saying, as far as women in general, we get it confused with approaching men and pursuing men. There's two different things. And I tell my friends all the time, approaching a man is just simply saying, "Hey, how you doing? My name is such and such." Pursuing, you allow him to do that afterwards. But there's nothing wrong with letting him know that, hey, I'm interested in you, because you looking at him, he looking at you, and y'all both looking stupid and ain't nobody saying nothing. Because the men today now want to be approached too. They don't want to do all the work.
So
And my man, I approach him.
is your masculinity slash femininity is that like default? Is it automatically default 60-40? Because typically what I've learned is a woman's energy changes based on the type of man that she's around, men she's around. So like
It does.
you started off by saying I wouldn't go as far as to call this guy feminine because that's not what you said, but like you said he's more emotionally expressive than you're used to.
Right.
Um, couldn't that be like a part of you going to get that, seeking that?
Well, I mean, I didn't know that when I first met him. We both thought it was just going to be me simply giving him a compliment, and we never spoke to each other again. But we sparked up a conversation, and we found out a lot more about each other, commonalities, that we're from the same place. We went to the same middle school. We grew up in the same neighborhood. A whole bunch of similarities that we have. Even some of our past traumas that we have are similar. So he and I bonded a little bit more. And I will say, while the attributes that Chris used, some of those are my type, but some of them are not. Like I say he's a plus size dude. I don't normally date plus size dudes, but it's his heart that I love, and the way that he comes at me, the way that he cares for me. Even just when we first met over the weekend, the way he was looking out for me, and that attracted me to him. So I kind of set aside basically the physical. He ain't like Rick Ross before Rick Ross lost weight. If he was that, then my ass wouldn't be talking to him. But I mean, again, I'm only 5'3". I'm not that big, so me and big dudes just really don't work. But again, it's the gentleness in him, the other features and characteristics that he has me to him. And the initial communication was his attire. We were at a cigar festival out of town, and I watched him for 2 days, and the man can dress his ass off. So I just simply gave him a compliment, thinking I'm giving him a compliment. I'm gonna go on about my day. But here we are in a relationship,
No, yeah,
and
you.
we did something different.
What I was basically getting at was like in between, like for example, what you said about getting to know one another, you having a lot of commonalities. Me, I can kind of sense like, oh, this chick is a bit rough around the edges in that process, Like you
Hmm.
didn't you weren't able to see that.
From him, no.
Gotcha.
And it could have been because he was actually working. So, we have our work self and then we have our personal selves.
So y'all were wait, y'all were what do you mean by that?
Well, I met him at the Charlotte Cigar Festival.
He was code switching.
And there, huh?
Yeah.
I was saying he was code switching. Both of y'all was code switching from professional to
What
personal.
does that mean?
It's like
Oh,
you
okay.
you switch up. Like um yeah, you just
Instead of talking in hood, he was using his professional language, and then later on he was able to I mean and give you a couple of little shorty. I mean, come here, pull up. Instead of
not
doing
even
that,
yeah, that is part of it, but not even so much the language, just the whole disposition changes. Like I tell people all the time, like I'm a different person when I put on a suit. Like my whole disposition changes based on what I'm wearing. Like if I'm wearing one of my
Right.
fine cut tailored suits, my posture changes. Like the way I mean, not so much. It depends who I'm around. If my um, vernacular, my
And that's what
vocabulary, you know what I mean, is
and
gonna
that's how
change.
he was dressed for 2 days straight. This man had on a three-piece suit, dope ass hats. And the first day I saw him, I was like, okay, well, I had on my cute little dress, my dope hat. I'm trying to see who see me, so I didn't speak to him. So the next night I saw him at another event, and I was like, hey, I said, I just wanted to compliment you. I saw you yesterday. You had on a nice ass suit. Love your hat today. And I just wanted to give you that compliment. You looking really nice. And he was like, well, thank you. He was like, I would love to continue this conversation, but I'm working right now. I got to shake some hands, kiss some babies, but I'll find you. Again, I didn't think it was going to go beyond that because it was a bunch of people, where we were. So I didn't think he was going to find me. But he did, and we sparked up a conversation. I ended up staying an extra day to talk to him, and it was just a whole bunch of it was just good vibes. And then also from us being from the same area and kind of going through some of the same issues and fights in the 90s, it felt like home. It was comfortable. Whereas when I date guys, you know down south or in Georgia or whatever from other areas, it just didn't feel the same. So we decided to take a chance with each other. We met on a Friday. We got into a relationship that following Tuesday.
that was fast.
Yep. We both love the TV show Married at First Sight. I applied for the TV show twice. I didn't get a call back. So we kind of go down that path. We call it our own thing, relationship at first sight. So that's why, it's a little bit harder for us because we skipped a whole phase. We skipped dating. So we're dating in the relationship. So it's a lot harder for us. So we getting to know each other, trying to figure things out, but we're making it work.
That's the best sex. Skip.
I miss
That's
that
the
part.
best sex. Just get straight to it. Skip the dating. Fuck all that going out. And,
Oh no, we didn't do that. We went to therapy before we even had sex or kissed each other.
okay, still better than still better.
Yeah. So we're just trying something different, trying something our way. Um, yeah.
Why did you curious? Why did you need to go to therapy before you was it therapy more was sex just inclusive in other things that you guys was doing or would you went to therapy for sex?
We went to therapy before sex, before we even kissed each other.
No,
So we
for
we
sex.
felt like, huh?
For did you
Yeah,
did you go was that the purpose of therapy?
No, no,
Oh,
no.
okay.
We decided to go to therapy because we wanted to try to start on a good foundation. A lot of people go to therapy when they have issues after the fact. We wanted to go before to say, hey, this is the things that we like. This is how we are. This is how we met. What are some things that we can do to make sure that we continue on a good path?
That's interesting. So
And
how long you guys
I already had a therapist, so we just went to her.
how long have you guys been together so far? About it.
It's a little bit over 5 months.
Okay. Oh, that's a long time. Okay. But it's this right now. So now, let me ask you this: Did has therapy been continuous from the very beginning, or did you do therapy, graduate, start the relationship, and then it got like this?
We did 3 therapy sessions. The third therapy session was kind of like, okay, now we got some issues, because at this point now we're starting to get to know each other more. We're like dating but in the relationship, so we're seeing things that we have differences, ways that we handle things different. So that third therapy session was more about how can we adjust, how can we work with each other, how can we talk a little bit better, how can we communicate a little bit better about our differences.
But that was the third
um
and last session, right?
that was the third and last session, because he's also reserve military. So he had a
You,
lot has been going on in our relationship, and
you
he
and
doesn't
you and
live here.
these
So
you and these military boys.
it wasn't
Um,
my it wasn't my plan. Trust me, that is not what I wanted.
um,
But yeah, he lives in Florida, so it's long
it,
distance too.
oh, long distance
Then he
relationships
had to go
are
to a whole
real.
nother state to TDY. So then I'm traveling because I'm a travel agent part time. So I don't went on vacation 2 or 3 times. So it's a lot going on in this relationship in 5 months. Most couples are not going through this in 5 months.
Okay.
So again, we skipped the whole phase of dating, and we knew that that's what we were doing, and it was going to be hard. We were going to have some challenges. So we're just going through one of our challenges right now.
In hindsight, would you do therapy and not stop, even if it was online, wherever he's at?
The The only reason we stopped therapy was financial reasons. My insurance does not, or my therapist does not take my insurance, nor does she take his insurance. So at $140 a wop, that's a lot. And I took care of the all of our sessions because I have flexible, or not flexible spending. My company gives me health dollars or whatever, so I had money that was free that I used. But again, along with my other medical issues that I have my money set aside for, $140 every time we see her for an hour, that's a lot of money. So my therapist is like, if we need anything from her, we can just shoot her an email. She gave us homework assignments that we did, that we worked on together. So it wasn't just us sitting there talking to her. She gave us homework assignments as well, and things that we needed to work on.
Got it.
Yep.
But in hindsight, and if it was affordable, you
I
would
would continue
continue
to
to
go.
go.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. That's cool.
So you don't want to
I
switch
think
to a
therapy is
therapist
good.
that does take your insurance?
You said what?
You don't want to switch to a therapist that does take your insurance?
I mean, that may be the next step, but my therapist already knows me because I was seeing her for
Before.
another issue with another man, and a job that I had an issue with. I had a whole bunch of stuff during the beginning of the pandemic. So I saw her for a year. So she has a connection. She knows who I am. So some of the challenges that he has with me, she was able to convey those things to him and give him a different outlook on how to deal with some of those things. So going to someone new is not an issue,
You
and
gotta,
it's not off the
yeah, you
table. We
gotta
just haven't
unpack
done
all of
it.
that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we just haven't done it.
I want to ask one more question because Shahid brought something up, and I'm gonna just ask. You said feminine masculine is like 60-40, right? So I'm gonna guess, going to limb, feminine is 40 and
40.
masculine is 60.
Right. And I know we were talking about that, and we kind of jumped to another topic. The way that I got those numbers were I was doing an astrology test, and you have to ask a lot of questions. It tells you what your rising sign is, what your fire sign is, a whole bunch of different astrological things. And
Mm-hmm.
when I went through the full assessment, that's what it was telling me. So that's what I was going based upon.
Mm.
And then
Okay.
I was on the show Love Match Atlanta, so Shay was like, "Oh, she got all this masculine energy." So yeah,
You didn't like when she said that?
I didn't like that she
I'm needing the
started with
energy
that.
behind your statement. That's what I'm asking.
I didn't like how she started with that because Shay only knows me from social media, right? Shay didn't know me on a personal level. She knew me from the BS that I post on social media, post in her dating group, my dating ventures, my Shanta dating chronicles that I had going on social media on Facebook. So she knew me from that. So being her client, was something entirely different. So on that first episode in my intake with her, she learned a lot of things from me. She was like, "These are some things that I didn't know about you." And I said, "I told you, you don't know these things about me because you never asked. You just assumed from social media." And she actually called me prudish. And I said, "Yes, I am."
So my question to you is, if men are telling you that you need to be more feminine, is your
Two people
femininity
told me
not
that.
something that you embody, or is it just something that's like a light switch? You turn it on when you need it, and you turn it off when you don't.
Turn it on and turn it off.
Okay. And I can just from my personal experience, I can tell you that's probably where the underlying issue may be. If you turn it on and turn it off like a light switch, it's not something that you are, it's something that you do. And that will be the difference. That could be the difference maker for you in relationships. If it's something that you do, it's if it's who you are as a whole, then you'll probably find that you'll have way more success rather than something that you just use. It's kind of like a cover. I'm cold, so let me get my let me get my throw right. I'm not cold anymore, so let me get rid of it. If you treat it that way, then you'll find that you'll have more difficulty navigating in and out of it because it's like, oh, I got to get it. Oh, and so because it's you. That's just my thought on that. I'll leave it.
I,
But that answers the question
well,
though.
one thing Shahid said was, I believe you said this. It's not always about, and I'm saying this for me. Yes, most times it is a turn on, turn off switch, but it's also about the person. I'm feeding off of your energy. I try to tone it down, but when that Scorpio stinger come out, it can't go back in until it stings somebody sometimes.
I always heard
So
that you
you
can't
have to,
blame your black
you have,
characteristics on your zodiac.
you said that again. I didn't hear you.
I said
He
I
said,
always heard that you can't blame your black characteristics on your zodiac.
I'm not blaming it.
You just said when the Scorpio comes out.
And I also said sometimes. So, I'm not gonna sit up here and lie to you and say that, oh, I'm gonna be like, oh, this, that, and the other, and oh my God, that is not me. It will never be. And I let men know that from jump. I set the expectation and I set the tone of, how I am. If this is something you cannot deal with, okay, I'm not ugly. Some people don't like that feminine, that all 100% feminine girl, and that's fine. That's me, and I let people know that, hey, that's not me. I have my feminine attributes, but I'm not like that all the time.
So you think femininity is just like the dainty that is like the
No, it's not
fruitful.
just that. No, it's not just that.
Okay.
But that's a lot of it, though. I
I
mean,
don't. I'm not
I
the
my
expert on femininity, so I know it
neither
when
am
I
I.
see
Go
it.
ahead, we're in the same boat.
well,
I
that's what
know it
they
when I see it, but I've never known how to like fully describe it.
well,
Um,
that's just conditional. It's conditional femininity. But I want to circle back to something real quick. Um, you said, but when that Scorpio stinger comes out, and then Chris said, I've always heard that you can't blame your bad personality traits on your zodiac sign. And then you immediately said, I didn't do that. And then Chris said, yeah, you did just do that. And then you said, I didn't do
I
that.
said
Then we
I
went
also
on.
said I also no, I
You
also
said,
said sometimes. He said you
sometimes.
can't blame it on that. I said I'm not blaming it on that. I said, but I also said sometimes. Sometimes when that stinger comes out, you gotta get stung.
Okay. So sometimes you're
But
blaming it on that?
yeah,
And
if you want to use those words, sure.
well, no, I'm not. I'm using yours. So are
I
you
didn't use the
saying
word blame, so I'm gonna go by what y'all saying.
okay?
So sure.
So sometimes when that Scorpio stinger comes out, they gonna get stung.
Hmm.
So that means sometimes you blaming it on your zodiac sign. Not all the time,
I'll
just
go along.
sometimes, right?
I'll go along.
Okay, cool.
that A word is gonna kick her tail.
So is what Chris said off, or was he accurate when he said what he said?
I'll go along.
sometimes you find that it's hard for people to take accountability, and I'll be the first to say it.
Sometimes though, Chris, just sometimes.
Sometimes.
Mhm.
I'm confused altogether. So, like, do you have control of when the stinger comes out? Is it like a warning sign or what? Like, I'm lost.
It's based upon your energy. If you coming at me all rah rah, and I'm like, yo, chill out. You can bring it down a notch, and you still coming at me rah rah. You only get one warning.
Right, but what I'm so is you saying chill out? Is that the stinger?
Mm-mm.
No,
That's the
that's me
warning.
telling you calm down. Like you can bring it down a notch. Like you don't have to come at me all rah rah because that's not how I'm coming at you. If I'm talking to
Because
you, we having a civil conversation, and you getting all
No, no, I get it.
for no reason.
I get this. Excuse
maybe
me.
there is a reason, and they just haven't disclosed it
Yeah,
yet.
because hostility isn't always a loud volume. You can be smooth. You can smile with hostility.
Absolutely, but I get this is all figurative language.
But rah rah is coming up here. Rah rah is up here.
And then the
So
Scorpio
that's that
comes
high
out.
level of hostility. That ain't the low level of hostility that you're referring to. If I'm asking you to bring it down a notch, that means you're elevated and you don't need to be elevated right now.
Okay,
But
so
what
you
And
want
I'm
him to
asking
be
I'm
hostile like you.
asking you to bring it down.
So you
You said
you want
what?
somebody. So if you being hostile, but you just doing it real calmly, you'd like the hostile to be reciprocated in a calm manner like you. You want him to do what you
Sure.
doing, not the way he want to do it. You want
Sure.
him to process how you process instead of him processing it like he does or whoever it is.
It's not so much as processing how I process, but I mean I'm pretty sure that that's what you're gonna say. But when you start yelling at me, I tune out. And you start yelling at me, that means I'm gonna start yelling, and then that means there's nothing going to be resolved if both of us are yelling. So if we're supposed to be having a conversation like adults, there's no need for you to
but he's
raise
not
your
being an
voice at me
adult
if
if
I'm not
he
raising my voice.
he's not
But I
being an
mean,
adult if he raises his voice.
yelling is also subjective. A lot of people
You're
think
right.
if you are speaking at a certain tone, you're yelling. So, um, yeah, I'm just I don't understand this idea of the stinger coming out, but they don't always get stung with it when it comes out. That's where I'm like lost at. What does that look like?
You said when they don't, I said they do. When the stinger comes out, you're
Oh,
gonna get stung. It can't
I
go
thought,
back in until you get stung.
oh, I thought you said sometimes they get stung. Got you.
When the
Sometimes
stinger
the
comes
stinger
out.
comes out,
Yeah,
Right.
sometimes it comes
That
out,
part.
but
and
when it
But
comes
when
then
it
out,
comes out,
when
you
it
scream.
comes out, it's an absolute that my bad. I'm blaming my
I'll go
zodiac
along.
for the
I'll
reason
go
that it's
along.
coming
I'll go along.
I'll go along. That's a new one. I haven't heard that one yet, Chris. I like that. We got to put that in the books, please.
My boyfriend says it to me, so
Process that one. Put that in the book so we can
So
annotate.
I have a follow up question. You said when we're talking like adults, um, is it if I'm raising my voice continually, I'm not an adult?
ooh, child, y'all men hilarious. Sure, I'll go along.
No, I'm asking
No,
because I want to understand.
no,
I
y'all
only ask
women.
questions because I want to
I
understand.
wonder. I wonder if y'all women listen to what you say. So
Sometimes.
And see that's a perfect thing, Shan. Right?
That was probably
So
the most
you said
straightforward thing she said all night.
say what Shahid?
That was probably the most straightforward thing she said all night.
So you said, you know, if we're having this conversation like adults, that alludes to that something in the conversation or a person in the conversation is not being an adult if they do this. This is being an adult, talking calm. This is not.
that's what it sounds.
According to my therapist, adults should talk at a certain tone. Your voice should not be elevated when you're talking and trying to get your point across. If you're talking about feelings, you definitely should not have an elevated tone. So, as adults, yes, when you start to raise your voice, we're not talking as adults. I'm talking to you how I want to talk to you and not as an adult should talk to another adult. So, yes, to
I
answer
feel,
your question, Chris,
I
yes.
feel as if you avoided avoided answering my question.
You
by
don't say
saying
yes.
I'll go along. I feel avoided.
And I just said yes. So which answer
She
do
didn't
you
say
want to
that, Chris.
take?
No,
You
she
want?
answered you direct.
She
I'm
answered.
talking
I'm just
about
like,
the.
is he listening?
I'm talking about the bad zodiac. She said I'll go along.
Oh! You
Oh
shifted on us,
God.
Chris. You went left. I was about to say she answered you that pretty direct.
I'm just trying to elevate my tone a little bit, because I could still be an adult.
Mm.
I'm, listen, first of all, I'm just picking at you because this is
You know
something
you don't bother me, so it's okay.
we're not gonna get into that. But
We've had
here's the
many
thing.
debates on in Shay's dating group, so you know you don't bother me and I don't bother you, so it's okay.
None. But here's the thing. I think that that I pay attention like Shan. Shan may pay attention more than me to what people say, and I don't think I've never met anybody that pays attention to what people say more than me. And
Mhm.
so that's the reason why I ask: is he not being an adult if he raises his voice? Because here's the thing: I think it's important for men, specifically men, uh, in a dating situation, to be able to have the safe space to express themselves with passion on something that they're passionate about, and it shouldn't be seen as yelling. Because for me, there's a complete difference between yelling and raising my voice and speaking with passion. All three are different. Speaking with passion, I'm passionate about it. I'm speaking with, a little bit more bravado. I'm leaning in on the conversation. And this is near and dear to my heart. And a lot of times, some women, because not it's some, not all, some women have the tendency to be, oh, you raising your voice. He's just passionate about it. And you want to chop him down and try to, not you, but the universal you will try to chop a man down and not give him the space to talk. And that's why men say, I need a safe place. And, oh, you shouldn't talk to me like that. Now we're talking about how I'm speaking versus the words that I'm saying, which means that you're really not paying attention to me. But that's a whole nother
And in
conversation.
those scenarios, since you brought it up, and in those scenarios, according to my therapist, those are the times where those two people need to talk to each other. And okay, you have to start using I statements. I feel this when you do that. So you have to adjust. If that's where you want to be, if that's the relationship you want to be in, you need to adjust. If she's saying that I feel like, no, we're not talking about her tone, we just the words. If I feel like you raising your voice when you do this and this, that, and the other, I feel like you yelling at me. If he says that's not what I'm doing, I'm passionate about it, then y'all need to talk about a way to bring it down and have a little bit more level headed, or um he needs to come at her in a way where she can receive it better, because clearly the way that he's saying it, she's not receiving it properly. So he has to adjust and make some changes, and vice versa. And that's one of the things that we have for our homework assignment that we are working on.
Yeah, I think though in this context, I don't think that's very interesting wording that the therapist chose to use. Like, because I know they don't mean like,
I never agree with that either, Shahid.
yeah,
Go
like
ahead, finish.
that wording is very interesting for a
I
therapist
think
to,
What
guys
wording?
I think men weaponize that against women.
yeah,
I think women weapon. I mean, I think people weaponize it against each other oftentimes
yeah, because
because
we
it gives them
know,
an scapegoat. It gives them an scapegoat for not listening or understanding what somebody else is saying.
right, and like even now, VA, I can, I have I sense like you are being very mindful of how you're speaking right now. Like you, to me, this is just an observation. It just seems like you're really paying attention to your tone and not getting too high and like being very direct, very clear. Like it is in a sense. Now, I wouldn't say therapeutic, but I could. It seems a bit coached. If I'm
Oh, I
just
was
this
gonna
is.
say, is that a good thing or a bad thing? But you said it seems coached. Like I didn't
I
know
don't.
what to expect when I came up here with y'all.
But see, even that,
So
what
who's
you just
coaching
said,
me?
that's you. Now I'm getting the more natural you. Like when you just said that just now, this is not how you were speaking just 2 minutes ago. Like it's a whole different disposition. But I think
Well,
what
I
we
guess because when you said that you feel like my tone was coached, that kind of confused me a little bit. So I'm just like, wait a minute, what? Like, what you mean, coach? I don't understand what you're talking about. But okay, I mean that again, we're just now meeting each other. This is my first time up here. You know, I've already been seen as the crazy person on TV. You know, on some of these other YouTube channels. So I'm being cognizant. I'm still being me, but there hasn't been a moment where I feel like, as you say, I need to be the natural me or whatever that means. I haven't needed to be anything other than me right now, but I'm also making sure that when I speak to you guys, when I speak to my man, when I speak to anybody, that I'm also taking those tools that I got from my therapist, because I was in therapy not just for a relationship issue. I was in therapy because of a job issue, and I
So
had to
so
leave a
you know
job
what he's
that I
talking about.
loved.
So that's coaching. So you said you don't know what he's talking
How
about when he says, but that's, you just described
I
it.
don't I don't I don't feel like that's coaching.
well you what I'm saying is like basically you've taken what your therapist has told you, and it seems
And
like
applying it.
you're applying it in other areas aside from your relationship as well. That's all I'm
It's
saying.
not just everything that my therapist has said. I mean, I've brought up some things because they were relevant to what we were talking about,
Well,
but
not
it's not
which
all just about the hat.
not the content. I'm just saying like how she's or he or whoever has been telling you how to engage with another person. You're I can sense you paying attention to that. Like not you're not saying what they told you to say, but how they told you to say it. Hey, don't get too high, don't get too low. I'm just sensing that. That's just my observation. But I think though,
Okay.
like again, going back to the therapist thing and like the talk like an adult, I think there has to be a point in a relationship where a man can he has to how do you even know where he's at if he can't use tone? Like he might need you to understand. Like for me, in my relationship, when it comes to safety with my woman, and that's not where I need it to be, my tone and my disposition is going to change. And like,
No one said you can't change your tone. You just need to check your tone. I understand passion. I understand yelling. I understand. I'm passionate about a lot of things. But at the same time, I know the difference between someone being passionate about something and someone yelling at me.
yeah, the
I hear
yelling is
passion often. I don't hear yelling often. So when I hear yelling, I can identify that because you don't talk to me like this. You don't raise your voice like this. So that's why I know it's yelling and not passion.
right. But so this yelling is like a trigger word for me because I've worked in education for the past 11, 12 years, right? And the only time I hear they yelled at me is two instances. um, Anytime you redirect a child and you're firm with them, they say he yelled at me, she yelled at me. And then what I noticed
Hmm.
amongst my colleagues is like if our principal or something had to correct them, and it's literally lower in a lower tone than this, they say it jokingly, but they say, oh, I got yelled at. Like these are adults saying I got yelled at, and it's just like now, like we know what yelling is. Like
Hmm.
yelling is yelling. Like yelling is that person is across the street or 2 blocks down and I'm trying to get their attention. That's what yelling is. The reality is people aren't yelling. Like we aren't yelling unless we in a full out argument or a fight. That's yelling. So
And
like
that
even
has happened. And that's what I'm saying. I can identify that because I've been in situations in the past with other relationships where they were yelling. And I'm like,
yeah, but
yo, bring it down. Like you don't need to be yelling at me. I'm not yelling.
You
Like
can't
I'm
say that
right
in the
here.
full out fight.
yeah, but in a yeah, you
But they say
can't
I can't walk away either. But I do that. You're not gonna keep yelling at me and I'm gonna sit here and take it. I'm not going to do
right.
that.
You can walk
So
out,
I'm gonna
slam
walk away and then that causes other issues.
right. You could walk out and slam the door behind you, but if somebody's yelling at you, the reality like you're not gonna say, "Hey, bring it down a notch." Like it's already beyond that.
That's
Like
why I
that.
was saying raising your voice. When you're starting to raise your voice, bring it down. I
I
think when
get
Chris
it.
started to give those examples, he started using yelling. But I think I initially started with raising your voice because I was like, bring it down. If I'm sensing that you getting a little elevated, bring that thing down. You don't need to.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not y'all therapist. I mean, I've had behavior counseling, skill. I've got those skills or whatnot, but like, it just doesn't seem organic. Like at a point, it's like it just sounds really robotic. I guess.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
never really
tomato,
tell somebody.
tomato. Everything don't work for everybody.
Yeah,
Shan,
yeah.
go ahead.
No,
Your
Chris.
face look wrought.
No, I'm fine. Chris, today I told you I'm sleepy. No, but one thing I do know is that I try not to tell people to bring it down or to not yell, because that would be me um ignoring the cause and going straight for the effect. Everything in life happens in a linear fashion. What happened to get to this point? And if somebody's yelling, somebody's screaming, somebody's just fucking irate and going off, or just being, for me to say calm down, for one, that's incendiary and it's selfish. And I know that. That's why I just avoid, I don't even say it, because I don't want to be a self. I typically don't get somebody yelling and screaming anyway. But if they happen to get there, I typically look at myself and say, what the fuck did I do to get them to get like that during this situation, this exchange? Did I say some bullshit? Did I insult them? Did I talk shit about something? Did I say something did I trigger them? Did I push a button that I knew would go here? And if I did, okay, I may not fucking at the moment right there say I did that shit, but I know I did that. What I find oftentimes with women, particularly, is that my pastor told me over 20 years ago, a woman will drive you to drink and then call you a drunk. Women will push a button on a man that she knows is going to get him fired off, and then turn around and say, why are you fired off? You know why I'm fired off, and you know why I'm yelling, you know why I'm screaming, you know why I'm pissed the fuck off. But now you want to tell me, why am I pissed the fuck off? You know why. Why are you asking? It's a rhetorical question. And what it would be great if men and women both, especially younger men, because I'm an older guy, right? Especially younger men who speak with emotion. Like you said, you're dating somebody with a little bit more emotion than you're used to. If younger men would realize that if they got one step ahead of their assailant, they'd be a lot better. Meaning, you know she's gonna piss you off, so don't get pissed. But you gotta be one step, it's almost like playing chess. You gotta be one step ahead of that next move. She's gonna say something that's gonna make me mad. So then if I get mad and I know that in advance, I'm weak as fuck. And when I've been trying to teach that to men for years, it's basically, we talk about sign language, shame, insults, guilt, and need to be right, and how to identify it. The way to identify it is to know that somebody can use it against you, but you have to know that you have to know that bullet is in that person's gun before you allow them to shoot you with it. So for you, VA chick, and maybe even you too, Evelyn. I get the impression that you don't really get into a whole lot of conflict. But for anybody, instead of us getting upset at somebody raising their voice, when we're calm, we can still be hostile, and we can still be assholes, and we can still be violent. It could be a quiet storm. We could be a quiet storm to some people. We could say something with a smile on our face that cuts deeper than screaming could ever do. But we do it anyway. And then when they get fucking upset, we gaslight them. Because that's literally the definition of gaslighting. We gaslight them and then tell them, calm down. You know, we don't need to be here. We're not adults. You're not being an adult right now. Because they're fucking screaming. It would behoove us, if we really want progress in our relationships, that we would think about what we did to get them there, as opposed to what they're doing and ignore the initial cause altogether. Is Wes? I know you watching. Are you coming up?
Waiting for him to come and save him.
Oh, ain't nothing to save tonight.
Listen, you don't know Wes. Wes will come and save you if you got a hangnail that ain't hurting, and you got a fingernail clipper to cut it off. Well, trust me, Wes will come and save you. Uh, at any rate, so we
Oh,
didn't
he's
get your
editing.
update, Evan. You said what?
He's working right now. He just hit us on the back
Okay.
channel.
Yeah, we didn't get your update, Evelyn, in reference, but you said that you're going to take a break from dating. So I guess that is an update. Um, uh, I hope that you don't actually take a pause. I hope that you take that moment um, to actually take a larger sample size. I will tell you this because it's very possible that your vetting may not be the best, right? And I have no problem doing shameless promotions. I have, don't call her because she's still single. She's still single. Don't call her.
I'm not.
She's not
Call.
single. She have
She
a
is.
man.
She not. She no. She's single. She like this.
Okay.
She one way in and one way out. She ain't all the way in there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So
Believe it if you want to.
that Facebook is complicated statuses.
correct, correct.
Not at
Uh,
all. We
I
too
have a
old for
book,
that.
Evelyn, that I want to recommend to you. Shanta don't buy books, so I don't recommend nothing to her. My book is called The Ultimate Vetting Guide.
Oh my
It is,
goodness.
I mean, it is exactly what it says it is. It will guide you to the source of your own power and lead you to a place where you can start to vet men properly or better than you had been doing it. And I think that would be a great place to start.
Okay.
You can message me, IG here, Facebook, whatever. I'll send you the link. Don't listen to her because I promise you, you don't. Y'all are like day and night. You know what I mean? You don't want to go to her masculine side, right? She used her femininity like a blanket. I don't need it
If
right
you
now.
want to get the men's, call me, girl. If you want to get the men's, call me.
Well, getting
She
men is
don't.
not a problem. For most women, getting men is no issue.
It's not.
You got
Mhm.
you got some
Not.
good men.
Yeah. It's keeping in
Some women, some women. I have some friends that can't pick up an ant.
and there's probably a reason
So
for that.
they're shy. They don't know how to come out of that shell.
They do. They
And
just
they're
refuse.
awkward. They're awkward as fuck. I'm like, why are you so damn awkward? But you want a man? I'm like, I don't understand. Go say
They
hi.
just don't. They don't want to do it the way you do it, right? They have to find it's
No,
it's
no, I
it's
don't.
like
I the way that I do it, I already know 95% of the time will not work for the average woman because everybody's not as bold as I am, and everybody's still stuck in that traditional mentality. The man needs to come to me. I'm not going to him. That's not my mentality.
is
Never
that
has
part of the
been.
Scorpio? You know that the stinger coming out. You gotta
That's
claw.
that's part of me rebuilding my self esteem. I don't
Oh,
have to wait for a man to come to me. I didn't
okay.
wait for my ex husband to come to me, and the man moved me 4 states away and paid alimony for 10 years after we divorced, and it wasn't court ordered. So I don't have to do some of those things. All I have to do is say hi. That's it. If you don't like me, cool. I have mastered rejection. I'm okay with it. And that's
That's
another problem with some women. They can't get past rejection.
that's literally probably like 80% of the problem. What if he says no? You have no idea why women don't speak. How many women don't speak because the what if he
Yeah.
says no?
Yeah, I'm not like that. I say I'm a shot of tequila. I ain't for everybody. It's strong. So you don't like me, on to the next. I'm just not your type.
So I, I
Call me girl.
I will say this. And this will be the last thing where I'll kind of land. I would definitely say Evelyn. Shanta's a load of fun. I saw her at homecoming. She in my homecoming. She snuck in all my pictures. Or at least tried to. Um,
Oh, wait a minute. Why my phone
oh,
broke?
I'm about to say, Shannon, you done changed on me.
Right. I'm like, y'all got all my stuff back here. Listen, I'll
Um,
say this: if you need a wing woman, I can be your wing woman. Once I bring them to you, then you do what you need to do. I'll go and vet them for you. Get the 411, the basic information. Tell them your information, and then boom, that's you from there. But I'll go ahead in. I'll dive in head first for you. Do the little vet and be like, hey, you got any kids? You got a job? Like where you live? Like what you do? Like all the little stuff that you need to know right off the rip. I'll tell them a little bit about you. I'll be like, yo, they're my friend over there. And if they say yeah, I'm gonna bring them to you. And then that's it. And then if you see another one, repeat. I've been doing it for the last 3 months for some of my friends. It's been working. They on
Is it?
dates. Dudes that
and
forgot
we
to call, I was like, why you ain't call my friend? They was like, oh damn, my bad, blah blah blah. Next thing I know, they back to calling and they on dates.
and as
So
you
clearly,
as
I'm
you
doing
as
something
we
right in my
date,
vetting process.
inbox me so we can get you the through the vetting process because it seems as if your vetting is slightly off. I can definitely help you with that. I think that I mean, me personally, a lot of people have said they love my book, so it's a
Let's have a
reflective.
challenge.
Say what?
Let's have a challenge. You give her some tools to vet, and I give her some tools to vet, and see which one works for her.
You don't want that. You'll lose.
I doubt it.
You'll lose. You'll lose.
I doubt
It's
it.
a guarantee you'll lose.
I'll bet money on it. I'll bet money on it.
It's a guarantee. See, yeah, I wouldn't want you. I wouldn't want you to lose your money.
It ain't nothing. I got it to lose, but I ain't gonna lose it. I'm real confident about that one.
Well, the problem with the
I
bet
ain't new to this.
is
I'm true to this.
the problem with the bet is the goal would have to be. Do you guys have the same goal? End goal, like
Yeah, and
Chris's end goal may be different than your end goal. It sounds
yeah,
like your end goal is getting
you
a
won't
date.
get her to the place that I will. You'll get her dates and people that'll like her and key with her. I'll get her to a place where she'll be happily in love and finding somebody that'll just
Really?
ride through with her. So
Wow,
you
wow,
can't
wow.
compete
Okay.
with me.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah,
compete with me.
yeah. VA, you'll get her way more dates in short term men and dating than Chris could ever do. You will not beat Chris to the altar. You will not get her a man that's gonna love
Okay.
her faster than Chris would love her. Chris could.
I mean,
Okay.
now if you want to blame it on Zodiac, you may be able to sting, but a go to crush you. So just squish
But
the little
dates,
head.
dinner
Roll your
dates, yeah.
eyes.
Dinner
Hey,
date,
you
you'll
know
get it.
what? You know what we used to say back as a
You'll
kid?
whoop Chris ass
You
in
can
that.
roll your eyes, you can stomp your feet, but this black boy, you sure can't beat.
You. Oh my God. You so
I don't know
90s.
where I remember that from, but
The
it came from
90s.
when I was a kid. Anyways, man, thank you all for coming, Evelyn. If you want me to enter into this competition, I'll put us in a group chat. You let me know what your goal is. If you want to be married, um, I could definitely help you get to there. If you just want to go on dates, I mean, you ain't having no problem with dates, so you know,
But are you
there's that.
married, Chris?
I wasn't. I was, but I
We talking
guarantee
about
I'll
right
probably
now.
be there before you
We talking
will.
about right now, though. But okay.
I'll probably be there before you
We'll see.
will.
We'll see. He already got the rings.
Huh?
He already got the rings.
Yeah, but we're not gonna talk about that.
We
I
won't.
mean, anyway, thank y'all for coming. It's been an amazing night. Cause Lord, I'm trying to be good today. Lord, I'm trying to be good. Ooh,
You
boy.
ain't good no other day, so why you trying to be good today?
See, you only know me from social media. You don't know me, Saudi.
That's the only place I know you from?
You don't know a lot. You know like this much. That's it.
Oh,
You don't.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You
You
done
you
you done
think
missed
so, but
about three,
okay.
4 years.
Weren't you on
Trust me.
Clubhouse for a while?
You still don't know anything about that though. You know.
Oh, okay. You okay?
You there's a code switch. Online persona, real life.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But
I hear you
you know.
talking.
Anyway, Evelyn inboxed me. Shan, send us home. Boy, I tell you what, Shanta, woo, you tried me.
I ain't do nothing.
You tried me. You know, I'll pull that little stinger out and make you go find another one. Bro, you woo, don't you listen, don't you come for me when I ain't saying for you.
Whatever.
Evelyn, do you want to be married? Is that where you want to be?
Eventually, I would like to get married one day. One day.
What?
Call
Why
if you
eventually?
just want some dick, call Shanta. She can get you some dick.
You
Oh, I can't get you no dick now. Now that
Oh,
part I
I
can't get
don't
you.
have no
I don't have
problem with that. I don't have no problem with that in that category.
shit.
I'm just
My
fine.
dick ain't even here, so I can't get you no dick. I'm trying to get my own dick. Shit.
Evelyn, what side of town what side of Atlanta you told me you lived in?
In Conyers.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you got to come out to Conyers.
Saturday. Am I free Saturday? I'm not free Saturday. Inbox me, Evelyn. We gonna sit down and we gonna chit chat. I'm gonna get you there. You'll come back in 2 weeks and be like, bitch.
Oh my god, y'all crazy.
And he got me
All
all
right,
together.
y'all. Thank you for having me. I'm about to go wash my ass and go to bed.
Yeah, kick her off the show.
Shut up. Good night, y'all.
Good night. I'm about to go to. Good night. Good to chat with y'all.
Good night, girl.
Oh man. Shan, I was waiting, bro. Like you literally just said we gotta spice it up and then no spice.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I brought you all the spice in the world. Yeah. Oh, well, gentlemen, I feel like we're the only three that care, too.
All right, Chris. I'll talk to you, bro.
Hey, you know who said they coming back next week? Maybe?
Hmm.
Colin.
Oh shit.